The White House going after Fox News. What for? Are they one of the 60 votes? Did I miss something? Do they really have an impact on health care reform in this country or creating jobs? Here's what you got to focus on, folks, right here. Go left, young man, Harry Reid. Now, I like Harry. You know I like Harry. He's done a lot for progressive talk. No question about it, but he is the man of the hour, and I don't think that he is representing his state or party if he caves in on a public option. This is it. Right now, the majority leader is holding, let's see, healthcare meeting number 2 with Max Baucus and Chris Dodd. It came out last week. Only this is the second meeting. Let's rev up the canoe a little bit, fellas. Let's put an engine on this thing and get going. Leader Reid basically is deciding whether he's going to go against the President of the United States and the House of Representatives and what the American people want and what they voted for. Harry Reid is in a tight race. In fact, if this race were to be held tonight, Harry would lose. 2010's coming fast. The Democratic majority leader is in real danger of losing his seat, if you believe the numbers. His unfavorable rating in Nevada is now at 51%. 47% of the people say, we're okay with it. That's too close for me. He should be at the 60 mark, where the president is. The president, new Washington Post, ABC News poll out tonight, has got a 57% approval rating. That's the number where Harry ought to be. But Harry, it's this option thing, you know? Look, the inside the beltway thinking is that anyone in a tight race, you got to move to the center. That the Democratic Party is too left for Nevada. It simply isn't true. I'll say it again. That isn't true. Don't make this mistake. President Obama won the state by 12 points. That's right, by 12 points. He got 55% of the vote in that state last November. In Nevada, a majority of people, 52%, support the public option, and the numbers are getting better tonight. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Voters like strong leadership. They don't like fence sitters anymore. This is where America is right now. When they put 60 Democrats in office, they want 60 Democrats to line up and get after change. That's what this was all about. It's Reid's job to go out and get the votes. Don't lose focus of that. But the White House wants to talk about Fox News. I'm a little confused on that one. Well, John Podesta is going to be here to talk about that in just a moment. Now, progressives are getting after it. They're putting the heat on Harry Reid in his own home state.
For nearly 20 years, I've taken care of patients who need critical care here in Nevada. I've seen private insurance companies cut off medical care for so many of my patients. And now it's happening to me. I broke both my hips, and my insurance company won't cover all the care I need. My family could soon be bankrupt. In 2010, I'll only be voting on one issue. I'm watching to see if Harry Reid is strong and effective enough as a leader to pass a public health insurance option into law. Here in Nevada, the majority wants it. Senator Reid, these insurance companies cannot be trusted with our lives. Nevadans want the choice of a public option.
I'll tell you what, I'm sick of the excuses. Blue dog Democrats, conservative Democrats, swing states, swings districts. Forget all that stuff. And here's your example, folks. Remember this guy that hit the scenes about a month ago, Alan Grayson? He's from a swing district. His district in Orlando, Florida, voted for George Bush by 10 points in 2004. He's a proud member of the Progressive Caucus, and he's calling out Republican obstructionists every chance he gets. He's not afraid of them, but the Republicans are. Since Congressman Grayson made his die quickly speech about a month ago, 5 potential Republican challengers have said, I don't want anything to do with this guy. I'm out of here. They don't want to run against him in 2010. Meanwhile, Grayson, this guy's a progressive hero of the left now. He's raised more than $100,000 in the day after the speech, and he's one of 5 top Democratic fundraisers so far this quarter. Do you think telling the truth works? A freshman Democrat from a swing district. Senator Reid, that's how you got to get this thing done. Harry, I'm for you, buddy. And the base is for you, but you're not getting after it enough. Look, if you want these House seats back over on the House seat, if you want to keep all them, it'll overcome the cap and trade mistake. No doubt about it. Deliver the public option. On the Senate side, progressive senators are getting fed up with it too. Here's what Help Committee Chairman Tom Harkin had to say on a conference call. The quote was this: there are 52 solid Democrats for the public option, only About 5 Democrats oppose it. Should the 52 give in to the 5, or should the 5 go along with the vast majority of Democratic caucus? Question mark. He's got it right. Harry Reid needs to get his people in line and get moving. Universal health care is the cornerstone, and it is the part of the platform of the Democratic Party. Non-negotiable. Talk like the way they think, Harry, and get after it. And he needs to use his boxing skills on people like Joe Lieberman. Here he is. He's holding a meeting today to go after the czars. Apparently trashing the public option wasn't enough, so Mr. Lieberman's out there actually trying to advance the right-wing czar agenda. Lieberman is bucking his party. These conservative Democrats are bucking the party. Olympia Snowe isn't a member of the party. We've got 60. We should have all of them on board. Now, a Washington Post poll, ABC poll tonight, comes out and shows that the president, among Democrats, strong approval of his handling on health care has dropped 15% since the middle of September. Now, the president's got a high approval rating at 57%, but he's dropped 15% in dealing with this. So it's going to come down to the man of the hour, Harry Reid. Get your cell phones out. I want to know what you think. Does Harry Reid have the leadership to get health care reform correct? Text A for yes and B for no to 622-639. We'll bring you the results later on in the show. Now, joining me now is South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn, the Majority Whip. Congressman, great to have you on tonight. You know, you're smiling. You know I'm correct.
I like your style, yes.
You know, look, we're about ready to take some prisoners on this, or should I say take no prisoners. We're getting down to the 11th hour on this. And, Congressman, I want to ask you, because you've been around for several decades and then some, have you ever seen progressive groups go after leadership like this before, and what kind of effect do you think it's going to have?
Well, you know, it's all about style, Ed. I've been in a lot of meetings with Senator Reid, and I can tell you, he favors the public option very much. And I think that when you're in the process of negotiating, you tend to use a style to negotiate that you don't want to embarrass anybody or insult anybody. And so I think that Harry is in a negotiating mode. But as far as substance, he is exactly where you and I are on the public option, and I do believe he will get us to where we want to be.
Okay. Now, over on the House side, if you and Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer weren't being strong on public option, they'd be running ads against you. Do you think the progressive organizations that are doing this kind of stuff and targeting leadership, do you think it could backfire, or is this really just part of the game?
Well, I think that there's a circumstance under which it could backfire, but in the climate that we're currently in, you just talked about a poll that shows some other things I think that's very interesting. One of them is that the support for the public option is now up to 57%, and that is up from 52% just a few weeks ago. And I think that the momentum is building for the public option. And but for that 15% of Democrats who have a problem with style, support for the public option, I think, would be up around 62%. So the public option support is exactly where we want it to be. And I think that when these numbers sink in this evening and tomorrow, it's going to be a much better climate here on Capitol Hill for us getting this public option done.
Does it hit the gas pedal to make things move a little bit faster? I mean, the American people are speaking. The numbers you put out were the Washington Post ABC poll out just tonight. You're right, 57%, up 5% since the town hall crazies had it going back in August. So the question begs, what's the holdup at this point?
Well, there is no holdup. We're going through the legislative process, which is slow and deliberate. We want to do this in such a way that the American people can stay engaged with us as we go. We don't want anybody to be hasty here. People kept talking back in August about us moving too fast. And now some people think we're moving too slow. I think to go slow and deliberate, keeping the American people engaged, informing all of our membership, what we're doing, making sure we're on pace to get this thing posted on the internet 72 hours before we start voting. All of that is factored into how we're doing this.
You got a clear signal now. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. I appreciate your time. All the negativity that's been out there is turning on the antis, no question about it.